Happy Independence Day, Nigeria. It's another beautiful Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely ladies in the building.
Yo, yo, yo.
Happy Independence Day, ladies.
Happy Independence Day to you.
So, Nima, looking very Nigerian.
Very, very, extremely.
I like to see a close-up shot of you because it's just your bopping face will be seen.
Respect yourself.
Bopping face.
I knew you are on set today.
With white.
But I had this nice brooch.
Looking good.
I must give a shout out to the person who made it.
Yes, let me. Her name is Dear Kolola NX, and she's the coordinator for Brainy Beauty's Place. Thank you so much
beautiful,
for the brooch.
so beautiful.
Wonderful job on the brooch. So I decided that don't wear the green, wear the white so the brooch will show. Because I would have just been green.
Oh, green.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
I hope
for the
mine is
beautiful
showing.
brooch.
I love I want to show you too. Okay. Thanks so much.
Her explanation just made me lose my mind.
Right? Drink water.
Anyways, how you doing, Jumoke?
I'm amazing.
Where's your own brooch? I can't see it.
How can you not see it? It's the most conspicuous. We thank God the weekend was really restful. I'm surprised Madam did not have any news for what happened over the weekend in our area.
I took a break.
We thank God.
From social media news because I was upset on Friday. I rested and took my children for the Nick Fest yesterday. It was amazing. Thank you to Mr. Ashiwaju for the Indomie packs. The Indomie lady she did not recognize OAP.
Don't worry, we'll send you an invoice for all the shout outs.
Take care.
Our own weekend was very much live on social media.
On Twitter.
Twitter yesterday was lifeless. The political shenanigans, in fact, it seems like governance has been stalled for politicking all over Nigeria.
So that's what happens.
Every 4 years we come alive and then go to sleep after the election.
We expected this to happen. Nobody's listening to anything about governance anymore. It's all about politicking. And
it's every 4 years.
Yeah, it happens.
Wow. Professor Patu told me he missed his own way. So his primaries is not as He's not already anymore.
He doesn't have assistants. Nobody could send him the address.
How are you doing now?
I'm doing amazing. I missed you guys for 1 week.
How are you doing?
I was writing examinations. This is my old age.
I've graduated.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I had fun. I had a restful weekend, just cooking, taking care of my home, family, and having fun with Olga. You know how we roll.
Yeah, well done.
People like fun too much.
We try.
Allow them.
We try. How you doing?
How was your weekend?
I had a speaking engagement yesterday. I have another one today. I have an event tonight. You're not gonna kill me.
No, you can't die.
Because my leg is really hurting. I mean, because when I'm in this situation, I have lots of leg pains, and it's so crazy. And I don't have a driver, so I'm constantly driving back and forth. I mean, I have to rest like almost 8 hours.
Get a driver for
elevated. If not, I won't be able to walk.
Or take a taxi.
Maybe I'll take a taxi to the event today.
So you can rest your legs.
It's just crazy, but it's cool. Yeah. So it's Independence Day, guys. Anything you're interested in?
10 a.m. actually, and it's about health and investment. We did earlier this year, and this is season 2. I'm really proud for the girl. We were in Lady. We were in school together, and just people just trying to do something out of, she was educated in alternative health, herbs and things. Right. And so she's teaching, she calls herself a water therapist. Wow. That just drink water and you'll be healthy. And then bringing in people who will also teach you about investments. Fantastic. I'm very glad and, honored to be hosting the event. And we have Julia Kigo, that one always breaking all the tables. She's on the panel.
That's fantastic. Let's go. So anyway, today we're all talking about Nigeria, nothing major. And the only news that is on the papers, one news alone. We'll try our best to comport ourselves. I mean, ladies, we are comporting ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's go on the break. We'll come back.
So classy today.
We'll breeze through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Right, we're going to start with The Punch. 2019. Sanwo-Olu not fit to govern Lagos, says Ambode. As Tinubu formally endorses ex-commissioner, I'll play high if they're playing low, says Sanwo-Olu. Governor urges free, fair, credible primaries. Air crash, Buhari visits injured pilots in hospital. Policeman arrested for brutalizing Lagos businessman on bank premises. FG to use own land for ranches. Gunmen at Sac Delta Police Station kill 2. Wema Bank confirms Adebishe as MD. And Rivers Coal Abbey emerge winners as explosions rock APC parallel primaries. And I'll continue to work for United Nigeria Buhari promises and governorship primaries. Ikpeazu, Adelabu, Emmanuel, Makinde, Okowa, Wiki, others win governorship tickets. Right. So let's take the human interest to the air crash first.
Okay.
Or the businessman.
The businessman that was arrested. Two policemen were arrested for allegedly brutalizing a businessman, a 20-year-old man in the area, Okota area of Lagos State. He was going to work that morning. So he came to a part where there was this pothole. So in order to avert the pothole, he saw a parking space of that particular bank was empty. So he took that place and came out. And then the policeman who was manning the premises stopped him and told him to reverse. He refused, saying that he would cause another, traffic there. And then the guy started harassing him, called his other colleague on the phone. They came together. He joined him, and they were beating him up. He broke his windscreen, used the club to hit his eyes, and till the mob, people gathered and rescued the man. So at the end of the day, the case has been taken to the police, and the 2 policemen were fished out and arrested.
This is the kind of
compensation.
Compensation and
cannot be less than 500 million.
He should just go sue the bank.
He should go and sue for
the bank.
Violation of his human rights.
The vicarious liabilities that so true.
Oshe lawyer me.
Let's think about the air crash that happened over the weekend. Really sad story.
This sad air crash, and we lost one of the pilots, but the others survived in the hospital. The president immediately returned, has gone to visit the survivors in the hospital, saying that this was a moral boosting visit. That's according to
tell us what caused the crash. So today they were supposed to be doing, how we see it in America,
air parade,
in UK, where the planes on your Independence Day will just be flying up and down. So they were now doing rehearsals too.
Oh my God! And
they had been doing it for 1 week. They told Abuja residents, don't be afraid when you see planes flying over your head. Anyway, in the rehearsal, 2 of them collided, and we lost 1 person.
Very sad.
It is well. Stick to what you know.
Let's move on to the nation very quickly. Tinubu backs Sanwo-Olu for Lagos State APC ticket. Labor union suspends strike. 10 feared dead in just violence. And independence, Nigeria on the right path, says Buhari. All right, so let's labor unions,
so they've
suspended a strike.
Suspended the strike, saying that based on the promises the federal government gave to them to reconvene the tripartite committee in charge of the minimum wage, and they are saying that they are taking 50,000 naira till the the tripartite committee will meet on the 4th of October. After the meeting, the final report will be sent to the president. So we are hopeful. And
fantastic. Please, moving on to just violence.
So this
because there was no strike. I don't understand all this plenty.
There was one strike, John. There was one strike. Didn't you sit at home on Friday?
Yeah, there was a strike.
There was one strike. So there was this violence again happened in Jos, starting from Plateau North all the way spread to everywhere in Jos, and they have at least 10 dead. Some papers were saying 5, but Nation had the highest figure of 10 people.
And they said that it went all the way to University of Jos. I actually saw videos of the University of Jos students running. One of them was shot. Sahara Reporters confirms that 1 died. In the Sun, it was 2 confirmed dead. I hope that the government can be on top of this.
Right. It was a really messy situation that happened.
The messy one.
All right, let's move on to Daily Sun. As Lagos ABC Gubo battle gets messier, Ambody fires missile. It's Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu, says opponents rehabilitated mental patient arrested for using fake dollars in US. You are stooping too low, says Sanwo-Olu. Ambody derails, says Tinubu. Anyway, let's move on. Nigeria at 58. No quick fixes, shortcuts to thriving democracy, says Buhari. APC presidential primary, Kalu's LG gives Buhari highest vote. And up here we have Wike, Okowa, Ugwuanyi, Umahi win tickets. All right, we're talking about our Lagos State matter.
Let's just take it quickly because I want to move on to primaries.
Other papers.
Oh, so should we talk about the primaries?
It's happening today now. The primaries happening today.
Well, moving
a
on.
lot of primaries happened over the weekend, and 2.9 million votes for President Buhari in Kano. I did not know that they had that many APC members in Kano. And I saw where they were counting them, where they moved from 1, 2, 3 to 21,000, 22,000, 23,000. And I saw the people on the queue. They did not look like they were up to 300,000.
But this, you're not
But
there.
how can you tell by looking?
How will they count 2.9 million people in 24 hours? We not see a video of a crowd. And imagine INEC was counting 70,000 votes for 3 days in Osun.
Took place across wards and local governments. That's the way it happened.
Yes, you won't see
so
everybody
primary
at once.
Elections take place across wards. Delegates do not have to travel since it's not indirect.
Thank you for explaining.
Okay, let's move on to the new Telegraph. Is it New Telegraph I want to take? Or the Guardian?
Have we done Vanguard?
Let's do
New Telegraph because Madam is waiting for the New Telegraph.
Vanguard.
Okay,
Vanguard.
Lagos on fire over 2019. Let me just take a few quotes on this. Our current governor says, this particular aspirant has been arrested for spending fake American dollars in nightclub and was detained for months. The records are there in the Bagada General Hospital. This is somebody that has gone for rehab before. Then the Babajide Sanwo-Olu said that the governor claimed I underwent some unidentified type of rehabilitation at the General Hospital in Bagada was shameless and untrue. This is not the stuff of high office. Then the Baba at the top, their father, okay, says, we have experienced such deviations from enlightened governance recently. We must arrest this trend before irreparable harm is committed against the people and their future. Right, 2019 explosions rock Rivers APC Secretariat, we talked about that already. Nigerian Stock Exchange sheds 1.9 trillion because of the political season. Everybody's moving their money.
Yes, so true.
Moving on.
We're moving on
to Vanguard. Let's take it once and for all now. Vanguard, Lagos governorship war. Ambode attacks Tinubu, endorsed Samuel. Talked about that already. PDP now, PDP now Wike's private estate, says APC.
That's true.
2019, Benue stands still for Mark as Kwakanso vows to end insurgency. Independent, Nigeria will be great again, says Osinbajo. Fantastic. PDP, APC primaries, intrigue, still APC governorship primaries. Talked about
I'd like to quickly talk about PDP being a Wike's private estate. That, you know, APC stock. Now, leaving the content of the article because I didn't read it in the Vanguard. I read it in the primaries that happened within the APC in Rivers State was largely made with a division. They didn't have one house. Different factions having their primaries, and they were throwing bombs. This one not be bullet. Bombs, they threw bombs, explosions happening, people driving past and throwing something. But we thank God the primaries happened. Abe had his faction, Soye's faction happened. Amechi's faction are adopting indirect primaries. I do not understand what is happening, but one thing is sure.
Right.
PDP don't have opposition.
All right, so let's go to the final paper of the Guardian. Ambode fights dirty as Tinubu backs Sanwo-Olu. All right, but everybody's saying Ambode's fighting dirty, but the truth is that I'm not going to give that quote again. I beg. I've said but the thing is that
let's just establish the stories.
For those that have no idea what happened on social media, because
so yesterday, Governor Ambode called a world press conference.
Global conference.
In there, he mentioned he was expecting that the APC primaries today, he wanted the leaders and the NWC to allow internal democracy so that they could live, you know, the tenets of democracy for our generations thereafter. And then mentioned that even the aspirant that they are compelling, you know, to take his position, that he's not fit for the position because, look, go and check Bagada General Hospital, you know, he had...
Rehabilitation?
He was rehabilitated. The records are there. He also mentioned that this person was arrested in a U.S. nightclub for spending fake dollars, you know, and he was questioned by Dele Momodu, which he said he does not have answers to. This generated a lot of furore, with people responding and saying that our governor, why? If you want to release something like that,
leave what people said.
Okay, he's not
opponent
but he
answer.
responded, yes.
That's all. opponent answered and said that, okay, Governor, you are aware I just traveled to
His
the
Excellency.
US. He's very respectful. Excellency. That was what when I saw it, I was like,
felt
yeah.
good.
He said, you know, I just traveled to the US and I have just come back. If I have these records, nobody will even grant me visa. Talk less of to be able to go and come.
Can I just
And then he mentioned on the...
Before you round up,
their father now finished it.
Their daddy finished it. What did their daddy say?
The daddy now said that this person has the pedigree. He has worked with my administration, Fashola's administration, and even this present administration. So alluding to the question, if you have rehabilitation matter,
Why did you keep him?
I'll just say that, listen, nobody should take anything personal. This is
not
politics. Politics, things happen. People will throw jabs at you.
No permanent
It's not because he hates you. It's just the game. So
no, my advice to
someone who shouldn't take this thing
do not
personal.
be the grass.
Sorry?
Don't be the grass under the elephants that are fighting.
Oh, Nigeria.
All of us Lagosians
are watching like this.
relocate to the stadium.
All right, we have to go on a break. But the
No
point is that
concern us.
in politics, everything is dirty. So please, let's not take anything personal. We're all brothers and
personal.
sisters
Concern us.
in this lovely state called Lagos.
Yes,
All right?
powerful.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, which way Nigeria?
That's what that
Which way
concerns us.
my country land? I love my motherland. Stay with us right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So it's another birthday for Nigeria as she turns 58 today. However, a lot of questions have been thrown here and there as to whether or not we are deserving of what and who we are today. A lot of Nigerians are leaving the country every single day, searching for greener pastures. Is there still hope for us? Join the conversation on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. A few days ago, in fact, actually, I attended an event at a U.S. consulate, and I was having conversations with a few. I tried to network and talk to people. And in the conversation, somebody was saying that in the next 20 years, Nigeria is going to hit 400 million people, and Lagos alone is going to hit 50 million. And 20 years is such a short time that there is no infrastructure plan that shows we are ready to accommodate those numbers at that period. Road-wise, hospital-wise, education-wise, there's no blueprint right now that shows that we're on the path to accommodate the people.
The explosion.
That explosion is going to happen in the coming years. And a lot of other things were said. And I came back home that day and I just think, what is going on? I mean, people are relocating every single day.
Every day.
Everybody's going to one country. Now they say, is this country, is that country that they are accepting people? People are leaving. And I'm thinking, what is the solution? Do we stay back and continue to hope? Or do we just say, you know what, let's start going? What is the plan? What do we do? Who stays back and who leaves?
So somebody was telling me yesterday, and she said, comparing Nigeria to other developed countries at 58, today we are marking 58, it's like insulting your father on his birthday and comparing him to the likes of a Dangote. That first of all, we need to work on our mentality as Nigerians. And I stand with this. If you go to other countries where they are developing as fast, they believe in themselves as a nation that we can do it. But talk to the average Nigerian child. The average Nigerian youth does not even have faith in the country. And that's where it starts from. You cannot be it if you don't see it. So let's start with that mentality. Secondly, let's start with that spirit of oneness. I am a Nigerian first before an Igbo person. We put our tribes and our ethnicity, our religion first before, putting ourselves as Nigerians. You don't hear an American saying, I'm from what state? I'm from Texas, or I'm from this. They stand, I know. They stand as one. I am an American. I am proud to be an American. Let's start from I am a Nigerian. Whatever it takes to make the nation move forward. In my little corner, I will do it.
It's not my mouth, Shao. I am a proud Yoruba girl. Very much so, because I can sit here comfortably. Let me not say Nigeria hasn't done much for me, because I've thought about it. Is it about, because when I was a young child, my father used to say, read hard, the government will give you scholarship. Because in their days, the government did give them scholarship. No government gave me scholarship.
Okay.
Well, if you say that paying 9 naira tuition in Unilag or some form of scholarship, maybe.
Almost free.
But at the end of the day, we're paying like 10,000 naira, regardless of that the tuition was 9 naira. Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
So it's not by just telling me. For instance, the vice president yesterday in church, celebrating our 58th anniversary, was saying that Nigeria will be great again. These are the same words I heard when I was a child. When we're celebrating 25, over 27 years ago, they were saying, Andrew, no check out, so Nigeria go better. When we were children. They also said to us that we're going to be the future, that we were the future leaders.
We're in the future now.
The people who said those words to us are still the people in power. I was a child when President Buhari was head of states. I don't remember the stories because I was too young, you know, and he's still the president. So how will you say that somebody my age will have hope in Nigeria? What are the indices? Is it health? God forbid you have a kidney failure today. You are almost gone.
But
You want your children to be, but if we don't...
Yes, I agree with you, Jumoke, but
lamenting is not the way forward.
Is exiting the solution to our problem?
I've not said exiting is it. Somebody like me took on the government, you know, like that. If we all run away, who is going to? I don't want to be second-class citizen in another country. So I will continue to say what I need to say. I will continue to fight. And you can't shut me up. Right. Because the things that you got for free when you were in your 20s, the 20-year-olds today don't have it.
Let me come to Nima. What are your general thoughts? Because this issue of people trying to check out, or should we continue to hope in this?
I don't blame the people going out. We deserve a good life. And as a Muslim, Prophet said, if a city does not work for you, migration is an option that you must take. As a Muslim, I would not subject my generations unborn to a hardship because of failed leadership. And that's the basis of everything. So yesterday, I had not read my mail on this topic. I went to the island with my children, and on our way home, as a young 16-year-old, trekking through Lagos Island, because I wrote my GCE at that time, on the island, Broad Street particularly. I remember trekking all the way to Race Cross, looking at Lagos, starting my business at 16, buying and selling. And I looked at everything on my way home yesterday. Who were the leaders who built Race Cross? Who thought of this bridge?
Third mainland.
Who built this cutter, this one linking to the mainland? These people had a vision. We had a general hospital on the island. We had headquarters of all the parastatals along the marina. They had a vision. They worked at it. At some point, visionary leadership stopped. And that's why we are where we are today. Yes. If expansion of Lagos, for instance, had continued all the way to the mainland, I would be shouting, no, not to my house. They did not do alternative routes in Agboju every time on this couch. Because the people of Jakonde, may God bless that man, he's still alive. May God bless him into his grave when he dies. This man thought of expansion and thought low-cost housing was an option, and started building my 2 estates, Iba estate where I grew up, expanding. And if expansion of basic amenities like health, hospitals were following those developments into the 20s that we are now, we will have these issues that we have. So the leaders now should know they are the cause of why people are running out. Let me go to basic amenities. What are they going to Canada to get? Food. Free education, quality education, basic quality health, basic
standard of living. Yeah.
Just put them here and life is good.
All right, let me go to the issue of mentality, because scientists have told us that between the age of 0 to 7 years, that's the age where a child soaks up all the knowledge.
Formative years.
That's the formative years of a child, and it's whatever you instill in that child that it builds on going forward.
So true.
Now, a Nigerian child who hasn't been fed patriotism, who all he has seen is watching cable, aspiring for, like, they have no belief in this thing called culture, tradition, Nigeria. And suddenly you want them to start believing in Nigeria when they're 20, 21 years old. How is that possible? Because you have we've not fed our kids with that passion our parents used to feed us with.
Whose job is it to feed us?
We are not even happy.
When we were younger, it was the job of NTA and the National Orientation Agency. Because I'm telling you of the story of Nigeria Go Survive. At that time, people were running away in 1985. They were saying Nigeria go survive, Nigeria go survive, so stay back. And then we had so many songs just telling us that we are one, let's be brothers, let's live in peace. And who is telling us that today? No, a 7-year-old child isn't hearing any of those.
Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll bring in our guests to shed some light on This Which Way Nigeria. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So join us on the show is a lawyer and a political analyst, Mr. Libras Oshomo. Welcome to the show, Libras. You can join us on 070-806-6814. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. We've talked earlier about people running off. You know, she talked about perception, like believing in Nigeria. We are 58 years today. Nobody wants to leave. We all want to believe in this country called Nigeria. But people have reasons to say, you know what, I'm done. So can you give us some hopeful insights?
You see, in this country, we are largely Christians and Muslims. But the holy books, take the Quran, for example. The Quran admonish a king not to sleep until the last person in his kingdom has eaten or slept. That's the responsibility placed on a leadership. You know, even the Quran says seek knowledge, not just for leaders now, as far as China, to the farthest place. So some people will tell you knowledge is forbidden. No. Our holy book places heavy responsibility on leadership. But here, we really don't even understand what leadership is about. It is only here for you to be a lawyer, you have to go read law. But to be a leader, you know next to nothing about leadership. And so, a lot of our leaders don't even believe in the system. I tell you, President Yaradua, as president, late President Yaradua, God bless his soul, as president, his daughter that got married to a former governor, when she was to give birth, she went to give birth in America. And the child will carry an American passport. What message are you preaching to
Your followers?
Nigerians? Our president is sick, he goes to London for medical treatment. And the wife says, even the clinic in Aso Rock, there is no Panadol. And it's like, that's at that level. It's like somebody at that level that is supposed to be providing solution, also complaining to the rest of us that, look, there's no hope.
There's a problem.
You know, so when people hear that, every one of us would want to live better life. And that's the essence of government. We relinquish our collective right in return.
So government, put our resources
protection.
together.
You understand the problems. You understand very clearly. But is there a light at the end of this tunnel? Yes, we are hopeful.
There is. Yes. And that light is resting on all of us.
Yes.
It is for us to insist that, look, we can no longer continue this way. Elections are approaching now. What are the issues? What are the issues that we are discussing? If you criticize PDP, they say, oh, you're APC. If you criticize APC, they say you're PDP. Are we addressing the issues? Take the card reader, for example. Voting. We say, oh, yes, we want to get it right. We want to be able to determine who governs, because the greatest form of corruption is when you deny a man the opportunity to determine who governs him. And so, we have BVN. Now, all your accounts are linked to your number. So, if you operate one account with this bank now, and you want to withdraw from another bank, not even from your account, all they require from you is your BVN, not even an identification. And so with that, they will be able to establish that you are the person. What is wrong with linking our electoral processes to those technology? If we as people insist that this is the way we want to do it, with that, somebody like you can come up and say, I want to contest for a local government chairman, and you know that the votes will count.
Okay. But we saw how the Osun elections went with the rerun. So if people are not confident enough in the political system, then they would run away. Because if I think that Liberus is the person to save us, he has the know-how. We have tried President Buhari. Let's just try Liberus. But after 4 years, if he doesn't do well, we remove him also. But if there's no trust in the system, then what's there really the hope for?
Okay, I agree with you that if there's no trust, but Olaro to me in the Gods Are Not to Blame said, to sit down resigned to fate is madness.
Must do something.
Up, struggle, the word is struggle.
Yes.
And so you don't run away. Let me tell you, I also ran away at some point.
Yeah.
And you came back.
Yes, I came back because I was working somewhere, and then one day the CEO came to the canteen and we were all talking. He was discussing. He said the British law was, the first and the best. And I said, no. I started educating him, and he looked at me. He said, how come you know so much? I said, I'm a lawyer from a Commonwealth country. And he said, what the heck are you doing in my factory? Yes. He said, you are a king. Go back home and be a king.
Oh, my God.
Those were his words to me. That you can never be a king here. And so I sat down. On Christmas Day, I packed my things. I said, look, I need to go back and be a king. And so if I had stayed back, I probably wouldn't have been able to educate the people I educate today, or give back to the society, or insist that the right things should be done.
So I would like to link my question to this tweet and see if it's possible we can pull some lessons from history. He is responding to me and said, most of the things that I mentioned were done by Oyibos who came here to take. Unfortunately, our leaders have been worse, and I once interacted with an illiterate old man who insisted whites should not have left. Is that bad? Now, is it possible that, the leaders in the past have vision? And I believe, because I studied Lagos and environs, I remembered in Lagos and environs how Jakonde decided to reclaim swampy areas. And if you look at the estates that he built, Ikpori, Mautu, Iba, they were built on waterlogged areas. He reclaimed the land because he knows an individual might not be able to develop that land alone. The state should do it. Build houses that are affordable for the people. That's just an example. Yeah. I'm not saying move amenities closer to the people. In the whole of Ojo, until the Asiwaju administration built a mother and child in Amuodofi, there was no general hospital. Until they went to Badagry to build a general hospital, just this administration, we didn't have one. So what happened in between that period?
Let me tell you what.
Is it possible that, in our history, we had people do something after the British left?
Right.
No, yes, you see, what happened was we were far removed from leadership. It was like, it's not my own, my responsibility. I can always go abroad. I can always run away. And so you run away. When you run away, you leave the space for people without ideas. Yes. And so, remember, pre-1999, a lot of people fought for, return to democratic rule. Yes. But when it was time for democracy, a lot of them, for lack of trust, some felt, look, we are not politicians, so let's leave the politicians to do it. And so you had an all-comers affair.
The military boys just removed their khaki.
Exactly. And so some retired and came back.
Painful.
And so some people who felt, look, I can always shuttle between abroad and here.
Nigeria.
So all of those were the problem. We caused it. And so until we realized that this country belongs to all of us. And so, look at Oshun. You cited Oshun.
Let me pause you for a second. Let me take Joseph, I've been waiting for a while. Joseph, are you still there? Joseph.
Hello.
From Abuja. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Joshua.
Yeah, good morning. Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day.
Hello.
You're live. Go ahead, Joseph. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence to all Nigerians.
Yes.
It is quite a certain situation where we live in a country where most of us wish to could twist back the hand of time and bring back the past. Because if you look at the current economy, it didn't show an indication of any clear vision and a leadership that is committed to the cause of bringing this nation to the path of growth. Unfortunately, we see leaders coming up, making promises, and when eventually they are voted, they don't fulfill them. And what we are seeing currently is also a dismantling of the structure that before now we begin to believe in such as INEC. A typical example is the Osun Relon election. Now, if people are beginning to lose confidence in institutions like this, then there is no reason why they should begin to stay back, because they have seen nothing that will convince them that the future will be better. Because the indices of the ground are so poor, are so demoralizing, and as a matter of pointing to no direction.
All right.
We see massive killing and so many other issues happening. Right. It's quite unfortunate that a few of us that have decided to keep faith are also beginning to lose such faith.
All right. Thank you very much, Joseph. Yes,
Yeah,
you're gonna
so
say-
he just talked about people losing confidence in the system. But I wanted to ask, back in the days when we just got our independence, Nigeria was still, we know we have always been a plural state.
Yeah.
So many factions, so many ethnicities,
Tribes,
and
tongues.
all of that. But it was still easier in numbers to manage compared to what we have now. We are expanding every day, and we do not have, we do not have the.
Are you bigger than America?
We are not. But do you think? Don't you
going
think that the
faster.
center cannot handle
Exactly.
everybody?
Yeah, that's where you see why it was different. Growing up in Bender State, from Midwest to Bender State, you had the local governments were very vibrant. Even under Jakonde, then local governments were very, very vibrant. At the local level, you had inspectors of education. And on top of that, you had a chief inspector of education. So at the local level, you really don't need to know who the commissioner for education was. And so it was the responsibility of those people to take care. Governance is from bottom top.
Grassroots.
And so, but when you, all of us now, when you decide it's not my business, I have alternative, I can always run abroad. And so you're going to have the likes that you're having. Now imagine Oshun having to choose between a dancer and a governor who couldn't pay salary, installing a successor. You now begin to ask
the options
yourself,
become really. Let's go on a break, unfortunately. We have to come back. We'll try to get some. We need to solution because we can't keep painting this gloomy picture. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hope 28.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Okay, so we're back, and we want to remind ourselves that we're supposed to be celebrating. 58 years is not a young
Not
age.
my.
So there's been a lot of issues. We understand that, but Libros, talk to the Nigerian youth out there, and we understand the PVC talk. But what I want you to give them some kind of hope in this country called Nigeria.
Yeah, may I add to that question? Libros, you said something about using Nigeria. I, yesterday, at the public gathering, was the only one speaking my dialect with my children. All the children, they had accents. Everybody, their mindset is already outside whether or not they are here. How do we own this country? What are the values that we give to our children to own this country?
You see, government needs to understand that, like you said, Nigeria, you can't run Nigeria like a big local government where the president is the local government chairman. It's too big to run that way. And so we need to unbundle so that at our various local level, we will understand each other. We'll speak the same language, we'll communicate. But when you don't connect, what we do, you hear discordant tunes. And so at that level, we begin to make excuses. Oh, because he's my person, even if he failed, let him remain there, it's our turn. As if Obasanjo's presidency translated to good roads
For Yorubas.
Or as if Goodluck Jonathan's presidency translated to Eldorado for Toke. The same thing with Buhari's presidency. What we should understand that it should be Nigeria. And then to the Nigerian youths are people they lot of energy. Look, take the music industry, for example.
We're doing amazing.
The moment you create a need market, whether you train people for it or not, people will gravitate towards that direction. But here, we don't create a need market. For going to 20 years now, we've had telephones and internet. Which university in Nigeria is studying telephone communication, telephone engineering?
You have to still go and borrow the engineers.
So we need to look for. Now we still bring microwaves from China, and then they will tell you they will install for you. So we need to understand that if we channel our energy into our country, it will be better. But government needs to provide the base.
Yes.
Infrastructure.
Once you provide the base, Nigerians would...
Okay, let's take a few tweets. Nenge says, how can you stay in a country nothing is working? Even the Minister of Health advises professional doctors to go back to farming. Abiodun Koka says, I've lived in this country for 4 decades now, and I've been hearing up NEPA, we will fix road, health sector, whereas there are countries where these things are never an issue or a bother. Okushaga says, if prayer is what a nation needs in growing, Nigeria will be the greatest. Nothing lasts forever says, how long would we continue to hope for something that's not looking...
For a second, the call has been holding. Hello, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, Yakub, go ahead, please. Sorry, go ahead.
Good morning.
Yakub,
Morning.
good morning.
God bless Nigeria and happy
God bless
independence.
Nigeria.
Bros, I really love what Bros says in that studio because I only follow him from one station to another, including radio stations. I love the way he always contributes to Nigerian issues. Having said that, Bros, I want to put question to you, sir. Do you think that the way we run this country, we can be able to progress? My own personal opinion, and I start to correct, or I may be correct, I may be wrong, but this is my own personal opinion. Even though you bring Obama of this world to come and govern this country, the way it is today, I can tell you it's going to fail. The reason is this. Let me tell you.
True.
The way the Constitution in 1999, the people that sit down in the corridor of one sitting room and give us this Constitution, they don't give us a good Constitution. Even the part of the Constitution that was good to give it to us, there was no way to be upside that very particular aspect. Let me give you a typical example. This constitution that we are running today, when they got to National Assembly in time of amend the constitution, when you got a station whereby the pollution of power.
I have to cut you off because if you start constitution conversation with libraries, we'll not leave this place.
Mayo, may I take one more tweet?
So I understand your point, but let's leave.
Emmanuel says, Jumoke, let the government of Canada open its borders, and I assure you that even Buhari will migrate. Okay, but a lot of people who seem like there was a small light during the Jonathan government, but it was corruption. And once President Buhari said, we're going to fight corruption, we believed in their manifesto. How can we hold them accountable to all their promises?
Take time to go to our national libraries or Ministry of Interiors and read Nigerian developmental plans and strategy. Beautiful on paper. But these are plans that we do not follow through. And so we will have government that, you know, a situation where the governor or the president dictate what should be. And so there are no thought out plans on how to... Look, APC manifestos, beautiful, fantastic on paper. But what the people should have done, the moment they came on board, we voted them on the basis of those promises. That is why we say the essence of government is the fundamental objective and directive principles of state policies.
Yes.
And so once they came on board, what we needed to, even during campaigns are here again now, a man says, I will build road. Ask him when and how. Because we've seen people who say, when I come, I will do this. Ask him, how much do we generate first? And so what will be the cost? So you understand.
Yes.
So you understand. But when you don't put them to task,
how many of them
to all of these promises,
they don't come to debate.
And at the end of the day, you have, and then what now happens? We begin to
quarrel. We're now more hopeless.
No.
Can I even say that our system is
too expensive
to run? You are going to govern a country where minimum wage is 18,000. You buy a form for 45 million.
You see,
so you spend so much, paying salaries of civil servants. How do we even, the resources are supposed to use?
The hope is this. All of us, Nigeria belongs to all of us. It does not belong more to the governor the way it belongs. The governor is supposed to be your servant.
Yes.
It's there to serve you.
Yes.
But when we see them, there are sometimes I'm driving on the road. That's what I'm saying.
He's trying.
The people.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have to run up.
Sorry, quickly. Okay. You cannot... hope resides in all of us.
Okay.
What's keeping us alive is that it will be better tomorrow. But like I said, to sit down, resign to fate is madness. So you need to work at it. A man comes and says, I will do this. Insist that he does it. Don't come in between him and the people that are criticizing him.
That's all we can take on the show. We ran out of time. But we're 58 today. Let's continue to believe in Nigeria. We all can't run away, Abi?
It's not possible.
The embassy don't even give all of us visa, so we can't run away. That's all we can take. Happy Independence Day to all our loved ones out there. See you tomorrow. Have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.
It's beyond wearing green and white.